the other thing we were going to bring up today was the Talking Yanks put out a projected lineup for 2025. We haven't even, talk about jumping ahead. And I'm not going to, I don't want to, it's not to trash Talking Yanks. They're
It came from Baseball America.
Yeah, it was through baseball. Yeah, it was theirs, but they're the ones that put it out. I saw that there first. So I want to make sure that everybody understands I'm not trashing that group. It's just, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, okay? Because the projected lineup they have as catcher Austin Wells, first base with LeMahieu, second base Torres, third base is Volpe, shortstop is Peraza, left field Gallo, center field Dominguez, right field Judge, DH Stanton. And if Gallo is still in your outfield.
And the starters, the starting pitchers, go through them. Garrett Cole,
I want to do them all at once.
Jordan Montgomery, Luis Gil, Hayden Wesneski, and Luis Medina as closer. Sorry.
Yeah. Who knows? I think we're jumping. You're trying to think too far ahead. We don't know what this year for Gallo is going to be. He was the player on that list that really stood out more than any of the others. But let's see what this last year on his deal before he reaches free agency. Let's see how he responds to. Let's see what he does in the offseason to improve himself in the Bronx. Because his defense wasn't the problem. He had a couple of at the end of the season he had those hiccups. But his offense was a major hiccup, a major problem in the year while he was in the Bronx. And I don't see him really being on this team long term. I just want, there were also a lot of funny comments on the thread. What about Brett Gardner? Where does he fit in? So I had to bring that up for Len. We don't know what's gonna. Who knows who's gonna be around? You don't know how players are gonna develop. Who's gonna be. It's a fun thing to look at. And have a fun discussion. But to take this as any sense of reality, I think is a little too much.
I don't think there's any sense of reality. I just think that was something that the Talking Yanks brought up as a talking point because it was actually Baseball America which ran this projected lineup. So credit to them for kind of bringing it up because it is interesting. I think it's an interesting discussion to have because it kind of brings in all our interests because we love our prospects and we love looking at prospects. I know Rob is particularly one that studies our minor league system, so I'll defer to you on some of these guys, but it's always kind of fun to bring up that idea. From my perspective, going through that, I would say that Joey Gallo is a no. Right off the bat because it just doesn't make sense. Why would they have Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and then Joey Gallo on massive contracts? That just doesn't make any feasible sense. So I don't think that's going to happen. So Joey Gallo is not going to be here in 2025. I can be assured of that. There's too many issues with his type of baseball for that to really work 5 years from now. So no, and I don't think Gleyber Torres will be here in 2025 either. Those are two guys that I can readily dismiss. I think if you're really looking at it from my perspective, I think you'll be looking at Volpe, Peraza, and then maybe Corey Seager. If we sign him, maybe by 2025, maybe he'd be playing third base. And then we'd have Peraza or Volpe playing short and then the other playing second. I think that is a possibility. LeMahieu makes sense at first base because he'll be older by then. So that definitely makes a little bit of sense. Don't have any problems with the rest of it. And then the starting pitching, who knows with Severino? He's not pitching really reliably in a couple of years. Maybe they want to look after his arm and maybe he'll be a bullpen guy by 2025. I don't know. Or maybe he won't be here. We don't know. But It's interesting that Clark Schmidt wasn't mentioned here, um, and so we'll see. Wisniewski is highly rated in the organization, though. I think he's definitely in our top 10 prospects, I believe, and certainly Luis Gil is fantastic. I'm excited for him, and Luis Medina. They're saying that he's got the best stuff in our system in terms of pitchers. He throws 102 miles an hour. He's got great stuff. Maybe they want to see him in a closer role or a starter role. Rob, what do you think, Rob?
I agree completely about Gallo. I don't think there's any reason. What I think they're trying to do here is basically saying, take away free agency and potential trades. This is what the team could be if they just relied strictly on what they have, which is obviously impossible because no team's ever going to do that. But Torres, I don't think he should be here at 2025. If they're going strictly by prospects, you're forgetting Trey Sweeney, who could easily be in that infield as well. We still have Oswaldo Cabrera, who is quickly rising up the ranks. I think at this point, if LeMahieu's playing first base, then you got a problem. He's going to be in the fourth or fifth year of his deal at this point. 2 years left. I think you can cut ties with him. I would say Sweeney probably at first or second, or wherever you want, maybe a third because his arm's really good. You could have an infield made up of Sweeney, Cabrera, Peraza, and Volpe. If you're going strictly by prospects, that's pretty solid. It gives you a couple of lefties and switch hitters for balance. Love Dominguez in center field.
Yep.
I think left field would be Pereira. I think he'll be ready at that point in 2025. Pitching wise, Medina out of the bullpen, I think he is more of a multiple inning guy, maybe like a 2 inning setup man. I think Loizaga,
seventh or eighth inning role.
Yeah, I think Loizaga has to be the closer of the future. He has to be the closer.
That was the only issue I have with the pitching is that Loizaga didn't get the recognition as a closer.
Right.
I think he could be a very formidable closer. But what did stand out as a positive with the lineup is that it actually does have a very good balance of the prospects we have now with the veteran players that are solid baseball players. There's no as a whole, even if Gallo is still here, that's still that's a very good lineup. If you're taking everybody for what their potentials are, but obviously it's not going to be a reality.
You're looking at 33-year-old Aaron Judge. He should still be a very, very good player at that point. Stanton's going to be like 35, 36. He can still produce, especially if he's strictly a DH. Wells definitely has the potential to be really, really good. We know what Volpe and Peraza, what their expectations are. Same with Dominguez. So, I mean, if they live up to their potential, which, again, not all prospects do, but if we're looking at 4 prospects here on the offensive side, if they live up to their potential, then we've got something very, very special. Now, it's a lot to ask for, but these are 4 of your top prospects. So to ask them to live up to their potential isn't really outside of the realm of reality. Pitching-wise, Wisniewski is very underrated by a lot of people. They don't know him very well. He is good. He has, and if he's your number 5 starter 4 years down the line, I like that a lot. I do not like, I don't like him. I don't think Montgomery is going to be here in 4 years. I just don't. I don't know if his contract will be up at that point. It probably will be.
I think if he's gone, it'll be contractual or, a trade where he has to be in it for them to make the right move.
Yeah, because they have a lot of pitching prospects that are also, not being mentioned here. Brock Selvage is a guy that we just picked up. He's moving up quickly. They have a lot of different names. And, again, this is forgetting about potential trades and all that stuff. Yeah. So obviously this is not going to happen. This is just a good, kind of talking point. I don't know if Garrett Cole is going to be an ace in 4 years, though. I'll tell you that much. If he's our number 1 starter in 4 years, I think we've got some issues in the pitching staff. Yeah. I know we're going to be paying him a ton of money to still be pitching like so, but I mean, we're talking 4 years into the future, and we're already seeing some issues. I won't say major issues, but some issues with Cole.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my only real like complaint about this is that Cole's still the ace here.
Yeah, even
for-
Sabathia knew when his position as an ace was up, he was like, all right, yeah, it's somebody else's time.
We haven't mentioned Florio. I mean, he is still amongst our top rated prospects. Certainly the mid-season prospects in Baseball America had him between the top 5 and top 10 of our prospects. Now he's still a possibility to be involved in 2025. I like his makeup. I like a lot of his skill set. And as I say before, I'm interested that Clark Schmidt wasn't mentioned because he is still in our top 5 prospects. And yet the one they had was that he's kind of rated a little bit lower. Wisniewski's rated lower than Clark Schmidt. Why do you think that would be?
Probably because the injuries.
Yeah,
I would think maybe because Schmidt's getting hurt so often that they didn't show the full bullpen. By the way, they're just showing the closer, so it's possible that he's a guy that Schmidt is more of a middle relief kind of pitcher, which I don't want him to be. I want him to be a starter, but again, they also didn't put Davy Garcia in there as well, and he's only like 22 at this point, so he's only going to be 25, 26 going into that season. So there's a lot of names that aren't on this picture, but could be mentioned. You only have 5 spots in a rotation, so you really have to pick and choose. I think with Wisniewski is they see the potential in him as being greater than Schmidt and Garcia because they're also forgetting about Beck. Waldachuk's another guy.
Gomez. What about Yondris Gomez?
Gomez, he's got an arm. I think he fits more of a bullpen role as well, though. A lot of these guys are going to more than likely end up in the bullpen. But there's a good chance that, 3 or 4 of our top pitching prospects could be out of the rotation. Medina out of the bullpen makes a lot of sense because throwing 102 and being a starter at such a young age, that's probably not going to translate well to the major league level.
Yeah.
So if he's your setup man for Loizaga, which I think that's how it should go, we're talking about a pretty nasty back end of the bullpen with some of the stuff that these guys have. So I like this list overall. Just do not think that Joey Gallo is going to be here, and I do not think that Torres is going to be here in another 4 years.
What I think this shows is it's kind of a reminder to Yankee fans that the window with this group may be closing, but the next group is not far behind. So the Yankees, if they do this, if Cashman really does this well, that he can have that next switch over to that next group be be very seamless. And I think it's something that to give us a little hope for going forward.
Well, Volpe and Dominguez are our top prospects, number 1 and number 2. Yeah. That's exciting. Austin Wells is our 6th rated prospect. He's fantastic. And Rob mentions Trey Sweeney, man. We just drafted him.
Yeah.
The MLB.com has him ETA around about 2024. I don't think he's going to be a shortstop, but I think he could play the corners. And he's got really good power. So obviously we're just speculating at the moment because a baseball players that go through the whole minor league system and to see if they are, major league quality. But they are really good prospects here. There's no question about that.
No, well, we didn't. This was fun because there was no World Series game to break down yet. So the tonight we have the game 6. So it was just something to give a little content to and some thought and some fun discussion. But the game tonight with game 6, quick score prediction, Donald.
I think the Braves might win 4-2.
Rob.
The Astros are going to win 5-4.
I'm going to say Atlanta's going to win 6-5. I think Atlanta takes it.
I got your back, Astros fans. I'm on your side tonight, only because I want this to go into 7, where the Braves eventually break your hearts.
Yeah, you're not
Game
rooting
7.
for the Astros. You're rooting for Game 7.
Yeah,
To be honest, I'm rooting for Game 7 as well. Listen, we need some stuff to talk about because
Hey,
there's going to be a
Game 7
very, very quiet Bayern couple of weeks. So as long as the World Series goes on, I'm cool, man. Something to watch. I'm cool with that. So
Yeah, I'd
I hope
rather
it
have
goes
2
7.
more games. I really would. I would like to have 2 more games of baseball rather than 1. But and let's not underestimate the excitement of whatever sport you're watching. You know, a game 7, a game 7 for a championship doesn't really get much better than that. But,
especially if you have no stock in it, because if
Yeah.
it was Yankees playing, we'd be sweating bullets right now with 10 hours to go until first pitch. But we don't really have this.
are you kidding? There would have been heads rolling. Everybody would have been fired. Social media would be exploding if we were up 3-1 at Yankee Stadium and had to get back on the road. That would suck.
If George were still alive, he would have won the game for us, is what people would say.
Well, we wouldn't. Well, one thing's for sure, we wouldn't even be in this scenario of not many games. We'd have swept the series by now.
Yeah, our core 4 versus the Astros core 4, in their primes. We'll see.
Yeah, I would take Hours any day.
Core 4.
A joke. So if you want, check out yesterday's episode. We broke down the news about the announcement of the new Core 4 in baseball, according to Fox, which is thumbs down definitely. The episode
Kind
was
of much of a core 4 if he's kind of much of a core 4 if there's a good chance that Correa leaves in free agency. So
Part of our
All right, that's going to wrap things up for us today. Just remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out our social media descriptions. And just remember, where you pinstripes with pride, play hard.